It is Tuesday, the 4th of February 2025, and the European market is just about to open. Haven't placed any other trades after my session last night. So this was yesterday, just a little bit up on the day. Not a particularly difficult day, but I just decided to play it a bit more safe because of all the news with the tariffs. That looks to have been paused for now, with some announcements from Mexico and Canada. So we'll see what happens with China, but other than that, it should be more or less settled for now in terms of tariff volatility, let's say. So I will be placing a few planned entries for today, as I usually do. If this is your first time watching, I am employing a strategy where I do mostly mechanical trades. I enter based off the break of a certain candle on a certain time frame. And I have different entries for different indexes and gold. So first off, I will be looking at the first 5-minute bar in the UK 100 index, and I will wait for that to complete. If it's a positive bar, I will be looking to sell below it. If it's a negative bar, I will be looking to buy below it. Some other entries for this morning that I care about are the first 15-minute bars in gold and the Dow. So at the completion of these bars, I will be placing buy and sell orders above and below, and following price wherever it goes. Basically, I'm just taking the first entry always, meaning wherever I get filled first, so short below or long above, I will delete the other order and place the stop in its spot. And I'm also going to be looking at the fifth 15-minute bar in the DAX. This is something I haven't taken lately, but I have been monitoring it and it's starting to look good. But I'm only going to do it if the first fill is long. So that's again something based off my research, but I will show you at the time and talk more about it at the time. So with that, let's just pause it for a bit and wait for the first 5 minutes to complete. So it is looking like it's going to be a negative bar, which is going to require some fast movement by myself. I'm going to use a bit of higher sizing here. And I'm just going to buy right below here. Hopefully we do get a fill. I could have just entered there, but I generally try to avoid entering manually when I can. I'm going to use an 18-point stop loss. Okay, I thought I was going to miss a fill there. So let's look at an 18-point stop loss. So I'm risking a bit more here, but it's a conscious decision because this particular entry has been working very well lately. So I'm just risking just a bit above 0.5%, so it's nothing, nothing too exaggerated. I was actually thinking of taking this as a double today if it triggered the negative 5-minute bar, which it did. I'm actually going to add here, be very aggressive with it. So I think another $25 of risk. And I'm just going to target, let me just check my spreadsheet here. I track all these entries and look at what they're returning generally. I'm going to go for 20 points on the first entry. Let's see if it aligns with the structure. Okay, so let's go with 17 points basically and be just above here. Just a rate of this previous resistance. And actually gonna move both TPs here just to make a little bit extra if we're right, because I do think there's a good chance we're gonna get this. Just statistically, this has worked very well lately, so I think there's a higher chance it works. And this allows me to go a bit more aggressive in size. Let me just do the live panel as well, because I know you always want to see that. Okay, so we're 7 minutes into the session. We're going to wait on this entry and see what happens. Stops are in place, so I'm risking like $78 on 2 entries, which is fine. And I'm waiting for the completion of the first 15-minute bars in gold in the Dow. And we'll monitor things until then and bring you back. So we're getting close to completing the first 15-minute bar here. We are in the red in the UK trades. Have to hope that we do have some demand here at the lows of Asia session. There is a chance we get unlucky here and we just raid the lows and get stopped and reverse, but that can happen and there's nothing we can do about it. Would be a bit unlucky if the time I decide to go a bit higher size here. It's at the time it doesn't work, but I'm happy with my decision. I think this is the right decision here to add more. And I added a profit, so stood by my rules. And the first 15-minute bar is about to complete now. And yeah, I just got filled in. Was trying to get my cushion in. I think I did a decent job with it. So let me just place the stop here. Risking 44. And I'm gonna target just close to the highs here. So like $60 here. I think that's fine. It's like 7.5 points, which is in agreement with my strategy. Let me just check real quick. 14 points, 10 points, 12 points, 9 points. I could actually probably go for more, but I think it's fine. We're gonna get into some resistance here, and I think this is a fine target. And the UK 100 is starting to move back up, so that's nice. Now, in terms of the Dow, this is quite a big bar. It's more than 100 points actually, which is quite rare for the morning session to have a first bar that large, but I still kind of want to take it. So I'll use lower sizing here. Use my usual 5 to 6 point cushion above and below. Something like that. And we'll wait for a fill. Hopefully this reverses now. I forgot to actually just check the second 5-minute bar fill here. I generally used to take this entry as well, the break of the second 5-minute bar in the DAX, which is this bar. this bar here. So it would be long above and short below. We would be filled short right now, and I would be targeting around 40 points based off my research. So it would be somewhere around here, my target. So just out of curiosity, just to monitor it further, because I do keep an eye on it, because this is an entry that has been very profitable for me in the past, so I think it's appropriate to keep an eye on it and see when it starts working consistently again. So that's what I'm doing. And actually on the short side, so when it's filled short, it's still profitable. I was considering taking it today, but I thought it was just better to just let it run a few more days and gather more data. So I'll keep an eye on that as well. Let's see if we touch this target, which would have been my target. Little bit of back and forth here in the UK 100, but just need to stay patient. We've kind of rated the lows, not fully. But let's see. Still no fill in the Dow. I'm gonna wait for a fill here for like 30 minutes. If I don't get a fill in 30 minutes and we just range inside this bar, I'm not gonna be interested and I will delete the orders. So I do kind of expect fills to happen quite quickly. But let's see. I'll pause you again, and hopefully we don't get stopped out here, although there's a definite possibility. And that's fine. Like I said, I'm happy with my decision here. It's absolutely the right decision according to my research. That doesn't mean it's guaranteed to work. But I do believe there is extra reason to be aggressive with this entry, so yeah, I'll pause you here and bring you back. We'll see what happens. So a little update here, a few minutes away from completing the second 15-minute bars. I'm actually not going to enter off any second 15-minute bars here. I do sometimes have an entry. It would generally be here in the UK 100, but I'm already long. And it would be an entry off the second 15-minute bar. I'm gonna let this play out, however, the original positions, so I'm not gonna enter. We would have hit in the DAX had I taken the entry on the second 5-minute bar, but the fact that it's working to me is good news. So I might add this back to the rotation soon. So that's nice. This has been a very good entry for me in the past few months. And then it had a few bad weeks and I stopped taking it, but it might be soon time to take it again. It does appear we're going to get stopped out of the UK 100 trades. Bit unfortunate. I still think this is going to move back up. We're at the very low of the range. I don't think we're going to get a reprieve here. So that's unfortunate, but happens sometimes. It's not really an issue over the long run. Just have to focus on the other entries now. We're probably going to get filled short in the Dow. Let's see. Yeah, a bit unlucky here. We did try to recover. So we did recover back to the entry point, but then sold off again. So this now looks pretty weak. What I dislike though is that it also makes me miss the short entry, because the break of the second 15-minute bar would be a short entry here, but because I was still in that trade, I couldn't take it. So now if this dumps it's gonna sting even more, but there you go, that happens sometimes. So I'm deleting the long order here, placing the stop where that was, risking 46. And let me just check what I usually make on this entry. So it's like between 50 and 100 points. But considering we've posted an opening bar that's this big, I think we can go for 100 points. Yeah, so it's actually just a bit under a 1-to-1 R&R, but I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. Let's just go for 100 points. I'm skeptical that we can just inverse this whole bar. So let's just keep it like that. DAX keeps selling. I don't have another entry for this morning. I do kind of have an entry off the second 15-minute bar in gold, but we're already long, so I'm not going to take the short if we retrace here. And in terms of adding to the position, I'm willing to consider adding, but not above this candle. I would rather just move down to like a 5-minute time frame like here, and let's see if I can, like if we go just below here and quickly back up, I might take it as an indication, because if we look at this trend line here, it acted as resistance, then we broke out. So we might be just trying to retest this area. I'm never going to add to a losing position, so if we just go below here, I'm not going to add. But if we go below and then back up, I will probably add to the position. Let's see. So it's a good reaction right now for gold, but I do think that we might go even closer to this trend line now and just let this demand do its job. But let's see, I'll pause you and bring you back. So bringing you back here, we've double bottomed on the DAX here. And I do want to go long at the lows of Asia session. I'm going to use a reasonable stop of like 30 points, 39 points, so exactly 0.5, and we'll be hoping for perhaps a move back towards the middle of Asia session. Let's see. I do kind of want to see a reaction here at this very low, buyer stepping in. And gold has done what I expected it to do. It revisited pretty much this trend line. So I'm going to add in profit here. I waited for the position to get back in profit. And for the stop, I'm going just below this bar. With both stops. What the hell is happening? Okay. So both are there. Respecting my rules. I do realize that I'm short the Dow and long the DAX, but can see it as a sort of hedge. There are different entries though on different indexes, so we could still see both hitting, of course. So I'm gonna let this play out now. These will be the last trades of the morning session. Bit more difficult than I expected, but then again, these are mechanical entries and I'm taking them based on research, and on some days they will not work. This is why I employ good risk management, and everything I do is properly researched and calculated. So even if I lose all the trades on this morning, I'm perfectly fine with my account and ready to move on. I don't go on tilt. Of course, I don't like to lose, but when you have a system that is proven to work over time, results on any given trade or any given session or even in any given day don't really matter that much. So with that said, I'll pause you again, hoping to see a bounce back up here. And the DAX is having a nice reaction now, but let's see. Considering we were at all-time highs just a few days ago, it's not unreasonable at all to even expect the DAX to go back up to previous day highs today. But for the purposes of this trade, I'll just target my most likely area here to be revisited now. And yeah, it's not an ambitious target because it's over 50 points. So I'll just let this run now and see what happens. A close back into Asia range on the UK 100 is also a long trigger, but I do think that I have enough exposure now. And considering it's not a planned trigger, I'll just not take it and just focus on these. And let me just change back to the live PNL again, because I can hear you screaming. But generally I don't like to sit on this window. I think it can produce emotional reactions. Now I have enough experience that it doesn't really do anything to me anymore, but in the past it did affect me, and I just taught myself to basically always change the tab to something else, something neutral that has no effect on you. So if you constantly look at live PNL and you feel like you get emotional or you see it affecting you in any way, you should probably not look at it. Just check on it from time to time if you want, but not actively look on it. This is why you don't see me generally sit on this live PNL window, but I'll leave it open for you now. It doesn't really affect me anymore, but in the past it could have a negative effect, and generally you want to just avoid anything that can have a negative effect on your trading. It's sometimes the very little things that can help you improve, and anything you can do to improve, even the smallest thing, can have a huge effect long term. So this is why I taught myself to not look at live PNL, but I think I'm pretty much over it now. I will still not sit on the window because I've gotten accustomed to it, but yeah, I'll leave it here for you now and pause you and bring you back. Bringing you back here, we are close to hitting a TP here in the DAX. Hopefully we do get it. And we are kind of reversing in the Dow as well, which is a bit sad. I've actually gone quite conservative with this TP, so it would be very unfortunate not to hit here. Considering closing the Dow, but I'll let it run for a few more minutes. kind of a troll. The DAX is kind of being a troll right now. And gold is still quite undecided. Really need to just stay over this trend line here. And there you go. So that was some nice execution in the DAX there. Not a mechanical entry, but one just based on price action. And this is why I have this extension here on my MetaTrader 5. So it just, you can easily get this on TradingView, of course, as well. And I actually have it on TradingView as well. So it just marks out the sessions, and I use the high and low of these sessions as reaction points. And a lot of the times you will see the market revisit an extremity and then reverse on it. And you can see that yesterday did pretty much the same thing. Went in the New York session, went to the lows of London session and reversed. Here it broke out of Asia session, retested, and then went back up, and so on. You can look at these and you will see that they are quite relevant a lot of the time. So I do like to look at the sessions individually as a range, and if we raid an extremity of that range and then go back into the range, that is generally a trigger for me and an entry, but not all the times, of course. I also track these as well. And I think it is time to just exit the Dow trade here. It's pretty much the same thing. We kind of went to the lows, demand stepped in. I do expect us to attempt to go back up now. We have been in a huge uptrend here as well. Even though this looks like a double top, we might get a reversal and we might keep going short here. I do wanted to see this have a stronger reaction to the downside. I think it's fine to just manually exit there. And I will now simply manage the gold trades. So I'm risking like what? 44 and 46. So I am basically in two trades here. We're risking like 0.9% in total on the two trades. But gold has been really profitable lately on these entries. So again, just like in the UK 100 trade, if it doesn't work at a time where I added to the position because it's just a very favorable place to add in because of how the market has acted recently on this specific entry, if it doesn't work, that's just unfortunate. And I'm not going to lose too much sleep over it. I'll just move on to the US session, whatever happens. So basically a loss and a win so far this morning, and I'll categorize this as almost a break even, just a very small loss there. And it's now all in the hands of gold. We'll see. If we just start ranging here a lot, I might consider closing one of the positions. But I'll let it run for a while and hope to see it bounce back up. I'll pause you now. I might return only if I get stopped out or close to an entry. Otherwise, I'll let it run into the lunch break and we'll see after what happens. And Dow keeps marching forward. Not interested in going long here. I'm glad I caught this move. So yeah, I'll pause you and we'll see what happens with gold. Bringing you back here, I'm actually going to be a bit more cautious here and just exit one of them. Because it does feel like we might be stuck in a bit of a range if we don't break out now. And instead of retracing and closing one at break even, I'd rather just take a little bit of profit in case we don't immediately break out here and we respect this session high. And if we break out, I still have one of the positions, so I'm happy with that. So let's see, I'll let this run into the lunch break now, and whatever happens, happens. So I am risking 46 to make an extra 52. So I'll let that play out and I'll bring you back. Very close to TP here in gold. Let's see if we can catch another one live on camera. Now you might ask yourself if I feel bad about closing the first one, and the answer is no. I don't really decide how I care about a trade after the fact. My reasoning was clear, and I just wanted to reduce risk there a bit. So very happy with my execution. Hopefully we do get another TP here, and it will mark a decent morning. We do need... How much do we need here? We do need like a bit over half a point. It's not much, but let's see if we hit. We are matching this wick right here. And like I said, I think this target was reasonable. It was actually a bit lower than what I average on this entry when it goes my way. But like I said, we are getting into this area now of consolidation, so we might just hang around a bit more here, and I think that's just an appropriate level to leave things at. So let's see, I'll pause you and bring you back. Hopefully we hit here. Bit annoying here, of course, we came very close, but I'll give it a shot to go back up. I will be closing it manually if I don't see a bounce back up quickly here though. Let's see, I'll be patient. Bit of an unlucky reaction here, just never got the chance to even consider taking profit early. I'm not going to take profit now because I do think that we can just do another similar pullback and continue. But I will instead raise the stop loss here. A bit. And let it run like this into the lunch break. Coming back here to wrap this video up. We would have hit the original TP, but I did decide to just manually close it the second time around when we got in the area of this previous pullback. I just decided that it was enough. So I got 32 out of the $50, which was the target. So it's fine, I'm happy with it. I gave it a chance to go back up, and as I always say, I generally avoid to manually close trades, especially when we're close to TP. So this is why I originally let it run, and then I give it another chance. Now I don't really care what happens after I get out. So it's a decent morning, made like $50, and We'll be now focusing on the US session, where I have several entries planned, but I'll tell you about them at that time. So for now, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like this type of content. I try to post daily videos explaining my methods, my entries, my exits, my targets, and trying to pass a funded account challenge with FTMO to show you that you can do it with mechanical entries and a bit of research and just patience and good risk management. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the US session.